Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Bandai movie monster series Mothra. And this version of Mothra comes from the 2004 film Godzilla Final Wars, which I talked about previously in my Bandai movie monster series Rodan review. Not really the biggest fan of that movie, but it's still not awful either, so yeah, not really going to go into too much detail there. However, let's take a look at the tag. Now, the tag here is kind of false advertising. So, on the cover here, we have Mothra from Godzilla vs. Mothra. Alright? Now, this would be fine, except these two Mothras are from two completely separate movies that aren't even in the same eras. This version of Mothra comes from the Millennium era, while this one comes from the Heisei era. And I don't know why. They could have just chosen a picture of Millennium Mothra, but instead they just kind of went with this. I mean, I guess to save out on money, but still, I would have preferred just an actual picture of Mothra from Godzilla Final Wars, but that's just me. Anyway, we have Mothra right here, and the Godzilla 2018 emblem. On the back, we have Godzilla vs. Mothra. Again, false advertising. And we have Mothra's wing right here. Movie Monster Series, Bandai, and some information here. And inside, we have some Japanese writing with a silhouette of Mothra. Now, taking a look at Mothra herself, the painting on this figure is very nice, to an extent. The top of the figure looks really nice, very vibrant, very colorful, and everything here is painted really well. There's a bit of brown here that's airbrushed, you know. You have some orange, black, yellow, a bit of red right here. The eyes are painted a metallic blue, which is accurate, and the tips of the antennas here are painted brown, just like the edges of the wings here. And the face is even painted nicely with a bit of black for the front of the face and a black beak. You know, the painting here looks very nice until you flip it over. It doesn't look awful, but it certainly looks unfinished, and I really don't like how this looks. So, yeah. But other than that, the painting on this figure, for the most part, is still very nice, so the paint gets a pass. Now take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure, well, there's only the head. So, yeah. The wings don't really move a lot, and, you know, the legs are kind of molded in there, so it's just the head, which is kind of a shame. So, unfortunately, the articulation does not get a pass. Now take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure looks very accurate to how she looked in Godzilla Final Wars. Everything here looks very nice. I guess if I have to say one thing, the wings look a little too thick. But other than that, this version of Mothra is very accurate to how she looked in Godzilla Final Wars. Maybe the legs might be a little bit too small and too short, but other than that, everything here looks great. So the sculpt gets a pass. Now take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on this figure is okay. Not great, but just okay. So the detailing on the face looks decent. The eyes look good, but I feel like all of the hair and all of the fur for her face looks not really defined well, and it does look kind of eh. There's not a lot of shading on this figure, and I feel like that kind of adds to the fire, but yeah, the detailing on the body actually looks decent. And the wings look good as well. Actually, the wings look really nice. And even the front of the wings look really nice. The legs could look a lot better, and so can the rest of the underside here. However, the detailing on the underside is the same as the upper side, so yeah. And that's about it for the detailing on this figure. Not perfect, but not terrible either, so it gets a pass and a half. So, at the end of the day, should you get this? Honestly, no. Let me explain. The reason why I bought this figure is because I wanted like a legit Godzilla version of Mothra, because the other Bandai Mothra I have is actually Rainbow Mothra, and she never appeared in any Godzilla movie. She appeared in her own series of movies, so yeah, which came out, well, she had one movie in the 60s, but then she had her own series in the Heisei era, so yeah. So that Mothra, I wanted like an actual like Godzilla Mothra. However, this figure is not perfect. It's not bad by any means, but it's not perfect. Also, something that really bothers me is the fact that they used a picture from Godzilla vs. Mothra instead of Godzilla Final Wars. This would be forgivable, but they're literally two completely different, like, models, and the colors are kind of different too, so yeah, again, that's one thing I don't really like, but as a whole, this figure isn't awful. If you do want this figure would cost you about 20 bucks, and for 20 bucks, I guess you could do worse, but there are better Mothra figures out there, so if you do get this, get it by chance. Don't go out of your way to get it, just get it if, I mean, I have enough money, so I'll just get it. So, yeah, this figure, not perfect, but not awful either. So, this figure, to me, is just okay. But anyway, if you want to know how big she is, here she is next to Dr. Billy Grant. Alright, now that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zach out.